So, in Unit 2, we are talking about how to raise a highly sensitive child. One of the things that I want you to take away is you have an amazing child. Whether you are a teacher, whether you are a parent, your highly sensitive child in your life has a gift of sensitivity. They are very, very sweet and loving. They are very, very intelligent. Sometimes they like to outsmart us, but they are going to have an amazing gift that we won't know until they're old enough to let us help them discover it, right? So, your highly sensitive child is going to be amazing. So, how do we parent them to become amazing, right? Um, First of all, we need to understand their triggers. Triggers are something that can cause a child to be highly emotional. Sometimes that's light bulb, sometimes that's too much noise, sometimes it can be a smell of a place. It can be lots of different things for different kiddos. So we really have to have a conversation with our child. Typically, highly sensitive children will chat and know what triggers them. We just have to ask the right questions. So, what are those right questions to understand what the triggers are? What made you feel that way? After a meltdown is a perfect question. Can you tell me how your body feels when you act in such and such a way? Can you tell me what helps you calm down when you are feeling all the big emotions? So, those are really great questions to ask your highly sensitive child after a meltdown. And then you can start understanding what their true triggers are. The next thing that I want to talk to you about is really scheduling their day for them and letting them know. You guys know I said earlier, anxiety has an underlying component with all of this. So kiddos with anxiety need predictability. So letting them know when it's going to be time to change an activity is highly, highly helpful. Letting them know, hey, we have a switch up in our day. This is what we're going to do instead. Letting them know their schedule, letting them know their expectations, letting them have an escape route. So let's say that you're at a grocery store and it's too overwhelming for that child. Giving them a keyword like, hey, we need to go, or hey, can we get one more item and leave? Giving them the control of saying, I need this to be done, is a huge, huge step for raising these types of kiddos. Giving your child an opportunity to choose. So, do you want to leave in 5 minutes or do you want to leave in 6 minutes? So, giving them that choice, it's a minute of a difference. It doesn't matter to you, will really help you transition to places much, much easier and more effective. The highly sensitive child likes to control things because if we look back at the anxiety component, people with anxious personalities have to know what's going to come next. And when we take that control away from our kiddos, that's when we see those behaviors. Kiddos that are highly sensitive usually communicate through big, big, big emotions, right? And some people call emotions behaviors. We see exaggerated behavior parts to that highly sensitive child. And it's because in that moment, they're unable to communicate what they need. That's when coping strategies, which is another parenting tool that you can use, coping strategies work wonders. I teach coping strategies to my 4-year-old all the time. So when you're upset, I need you to tell me what's making you upset. When you are feeling this, what can we do to make your body calmer? Those are ways to get to your coping strategies. Not all coping strategies work the same for your each child, so you have to really figure out what works for them. Um, Disciplining. So disciplining is a question that I get asked a lot. How do you discipline a highly sensitive child? Well, we use logic discipline. And what does logical discipline mean? Well, it means that if you lie about taking a video game, you don't get your video games for X number of days or an X number of time. If you hit a child, am I going to take away your opportunity to play with that child? I'm actually not. I'm actually going to sit down and say, why did you hit that child? What can we do to help you communicate what you need to that child? Because part of our discipline with any type of kiddo is teaching them what we want to see. If we are not able to teach that our highly sensitive child what skills they need, they're going to keep repeating the hitting and the not sharing and the impatientness, all of the things, right? So it's our job as a parent, as an educator, to teach them the skills that they need to be successful in those situations. So that's kind of how I address disciplining a highly sensitive child. I hope that you guys found this helpful. One of the things that I really, really want you guys to take away is that your highly sensitive child is amazing. I know that it's really tough to get to that amazing, but with the right help and support, it's 100%. You can get there. It's 100% acceptable.